loafers! Another big name that we like to laugh about and joke about, Chandler Parsons.
Can we combine the two? Can we combine him and Mike Conley for a second?
Well, okay, you can't mesh those two together though, because those are two completely different players. Let's start with Chandler Parsons though. To Memphis, 4 years, $94 million. Guys,
Dang.
He's coming off of a knee injury. They're not even sure how it's gonna work out with the knee, and they just paid this male model 4 years, $94 million.
Chandler Parsons is not a male model.
Pretty good looking guy.
Nice game, pretty.
Might be his next job if this knee thing doesn't pan out.
Yeah, no, he's got a backup gig, which makes me
Good for
worry.
him.
Is he really into this basketball?
He's gonna do stock photos of a guy wearing crutches. Not impressed. Not impressed.
Is he gonna be afraid to
look
get
like
hit in the
this.
face?
Not the hands! Not the hands!
Ryan, your thoughts on? Oh, he's busy drinking water. Jared,
Sold the target.
Chandler Parsons.
I think
Chandler Parsons is a wastoid. He is like 90% of the people on this list. He doesn't deserve the money he's getting.
No.
He has been terrible ever since he left Houston. I don't.
He really
fair.
has.
I'm not even trying to like come into this video as the curmudgeon guy. I'm sorry, but
Oh,
most of the
stupid.
guys on this list
Curmudgeon?
are terrible.
I'm gonna get my dictionary.
I'm serious though. Like he's
That was a
terrible.
great word, though.
Remember what school was?
He's
I
terrible.
mean, he couldn't even like pick up DeAndre Jordan. Couldn't even convince him.
That's true.
That's more of a Mavs problem.
That's true.
than
They,
Chandler
yeah,
Parsons
the
problem,
Mavs. The Mavs have their issues, but Parsons. You know what? DeAndre Jordan probably rescinded
because
that
he-
offer
yeah.
because
because
he's
of
like,
Parsons.
oh no.
I thought it was
Parsons
funny that
is
like
there?
Parsons was the one that went. Like, why wasn't it like a Dirk or
One of their
like one of the people that
their
have been there for a
franchise
while?
player. They're
Too
legend.
busy locking Dirk in a hyperbolic chamber,
Yeah.
getting ready for the
Hyperbaric?
season.
Hyperbolic is in Dragon Ball Z. You mean hyperbaric.
No, hyperbolic.
No, he meant hyperbolic.
Oh, okay.
Hyper-
sorry.
He's got to train his. He's got to get
I'm
as
not
good
gonna
as he can for
Break
this
that
next
word
season.
down
Yeah.
because when you break it down, it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, it can wrap around in my head. I get what you're saying.
but what I'm trying to say is Chandler Parsons
Overpaid.
Yeah.
massively overpaid.
Well, it's not even the fact it's not much money. It's the fact that it's a max contract. That Chandler Parsons is a max
Yeah.
player.
like I would spend that
that's the
much
thought
money
for me, at least.
to bust Larry Sanders out of rehab and get him on the team. Like before I get Chandler
I forgot
Parsons.
about Larry
Yeah,
Sanders.
Yeah, that's the move right there.
Oh, yeah.
He got thrown out of a
I
game.
like Larry.
He was awesome, and then he just
He was on the up.
He went
completely
crazy.
Well, because he smoked a lot of pot.
Well, he got busted a few times for that, but then at one point he was just like, in the middle of the season he's just like, I don't wanna
Yeah,
play.
doesn't want to play.
I don't wanna play
I remember
anymore.
that.
But one of his
Weird.
famous moments was he got kicked out of a game, and he just looks at all the refs and does this, and then just walks out.
That's awesome.
This is awesome.
That's awesome.
It was really good.
That's awesome. Yeah, so for me, it's just the fact that he's getting a max contract. I don't care how much money it is. It's the fact he's a max player. He's not a max player.
Let's
He's-
cross over then.
He's
Well,
so
'cause-
far from that.
Just think about max players for a second. What do you think when you think of a max player?
Bron,
Yeah,
Russell,
superstar.
You think of a superstar or someone who
Yeah.
can carry a franchise.
Yeah, like your main.
He's one of your
Like,
focal.
your face
He's
of
one
the
of your
team.
focal points of the team, right?
It implies what you're being paid implies your part in the team in a lot of ways.
Right.
If you're being paid that percentage of your team's entire salary,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
you should be able to perform to that, and he's not even close.
And hopefully, I don't even care if he does or not, but maybe he will. Maybe he will play up to it. He looked pretty good. Like you're saying in Houston, he looked pretty good.
In Houston,
Yeah. So
yeah,
Houston.
he's
That
has,
was
We'll see.
he has
that was
potential,
a while
but
ago.
but he's past the point, in my opinion.
Well, he's old too because he's old too because he came into the league as an old rookie.
right, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Is like, what are they hoping to get out of him? If he was like a superstar and had like a bad year,
Yeah.
or like a bad half of a year, that's one thing. He's
Right.
been terrible for the past 2 years.
Yeah, he hasn't been good. Which
Great
is
idea.
pretty surprising. I
Let's
mean,
pick him up
it's
max
not a good
amount.
thing when you've got Rick Carlisle, one of the best coaches, and he couldn't get like
That's a good
greatness
point,
out of you. I mean, we talked about Harrison Barnes before, and you know what? I didn't even think about it, but we're talking about a guy who's going to be coached by Rick Carlisle, who is one of the best in the game,
Yeah.
at just getting every ounce of
He
talent
made
out
Darren
of
Williams look playable last year.
Rajon Rondo.
That's why he re-signed.
No.
Wow.
That's Rondo's doing.
That's more of a
That was
Rondo.
Rondo's
That's a
doing.
Rondo thing. Yeah.
Let's not
yeah.
bring that up again.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But let's go. You know what? You want to talk about Mike
Yeah.
Conley? Let's talk about Mike Conley.
Yeah, okay.
Mike Conley re-signs.
Yeah, see, guys, I'm out.
All right, bye, Josh.
Yeah.
Dude.
I literally
Sit
can't.
down because I got something to say about Conley. Mr.
5
Mr.
years.
Josh.
5 years, 153 million, guys. This is the biggest contract in NBA history.
What?
And it goes to Mike Conley.
I'm glad Josh is in my camp. I can sense already Josh is in my camp.
I don't.
Josh is absolutely in your camp.
Okay.
Can we?
All right. Let me start this one out.
Please.
Because I've been saying this for a very long time.
Yes.
And still slowly slipping into Stephen A. Smith here. Should I just deliver this to Stephen
Just
A.?
go straight, Steve.
I've been saying this for a long time. Okay? Mike Conley is not a superstar basketball player. Okay? He's just not. Okay? He's never performed to that level. He never has. He never will. Let's bring him in and max him out. Does anybody... I mean, seriously. Mike Conley has always been on that version, like the Joe Johnson level, where it's like, he's
Oh,
the Gordon.
no,
he's flirting too. He's
no.
flirting with the superstar status. Yeah,
I would
he's
not put him
flirting
at
with-
Joe Johnson.
With superstar level,
He's better than Joe Johnson
flirting
ever
with
was.
flirting with like being like a superstar and still being that guy right under a superstar.
Do you mean flirting with being the best player on his team? Because he hasn't even been that.
I mean, you can have more than one superstar on a team.
If you're lucky.
Marc Gasol,
Gasol,
Zebo,
Zebo's not a
and Mike
superstar.
Conley.
Yeah.
Zebo was superstar for a little while. He was.
He
He
had
was the best. He was the best power forward a few years ago
Yeah,
in the league.
he was.
I'd
Yeah.
say so, yeah.
But Conley's always flirted with that, like superstar, like top player, and just the guy, the role player, a little bit.
He's the third wheel.
He's always been the underrated. He's always been the odd man out when people talk about, who's the best point guard in the league.
He always manages, and the same thing with Joe Johnson. Maybe this is just like karma or
In his
whatever,
prime, maybe. Way
or whatever.
back in the day.
Right. I'm talking like 2 years ago. He and Joe Johnson always managed to march into Phoenix and beat us with some garbage last second floater or something like that.
Yeah.
But he does that every once in a while. But he's just never quite been there. Let's max him out. Let's max him.
Well,
He's past
yeah.
He's over the hill in some respects. Let's max him. No,
So,
Josh.
yeah, okay, so what do you think? Again, this goes back to the whole max thing, right? Mike Conley has not once been an all-star. Yeah, that's not.
I kind of feel like that's a crime.
That's not always. Yeah, okay. That's not always the best indicator because there were some years where he might have been, or he rather should have been an all-star. Maybe he got snubbed. Okay. That being said,
he doesn't deserve.
he doesn't.
this.
The richest contract in NBA history, the richest.
And it goes to Mike Conley.
To Mike Conley.
What? I know.
An
There's
aging Mike Conley.
15 other players I can list off the top of my head that would deserve that like title.
And you're right. Mike Conley is not a bad player. It's not a bad player
No.
at all. It's not one of those things where even if you got like $100 million, I'd be mad about it. No, if you got $100 million, that seems more in line with Mike. That seems more in line with what he deserves, rather,
What-
or what he plays for.
Especially for a max deal.
Exactly.
What
So,
this is
I
Memphis.
don't even know what it is, though. I don't even know what they're. What I don't get it.
Memphis is terrified. They're terrified because their once seemingly promising, grinded out franchise is crumbling.
Marcus
Yeah.
Gasol,
Marc Gasol just
injured.
coming off of a foot injury,
Zebo.
and those foot injuries can just destroy big men's careers. Zebo,
Bill Walton.
he's just getting older.
So-
Zebo's just getting older.
Yeah.
He's still quality big man. He's getting older. Tony Allen getting older. They got no shooters.
They lost
Sadly.
Courtney Lee.
They got no
Sadly.
shooters.
They lost
Sadly.
Courtney Lee, didn't they?
Tony
Mike
Allen's the
Conley.
best.
It's good. Yeah.
Trick or treat. Tony Allen is my hero.
I love
that
I
guy.
love Tony Allen.
He is.
But Mike Conley, what we're looking at is a guy who's he's stuck it out with these other guys, And I think Memphis was so scared of losing him that they just said, we'll give you whatever you want. Because if they lose Mike Conley, who are they going to replace him with?
That's a good point.
It's too much money. It's far too much money.
That's the thing that irks me the most.
He used to be the most underrated player, and now he's going to be the most overrated simply because of his money.
But he's still, you're right, he's the best option for them at point guard.
Right.
But still, the Memphis Grizzlies, them giving Mike Conley and Chandler Parsons max deals is the craziest thing I've seen in the NBA since Ron Artest went into the stands at the Palace. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in the NBA.
You can put that in stone.
Write it down. That's the craziest thing I've seen since Ron Artest going into the stands.
And that was pretty crazy, guys.
That was crazy.
Which
was madness.
Like, oh my gosh.
It was madness.
I just can't fathom what the top brass were thinking.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I'm with you. Insane.
We'll see how it pans out. I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're not. You are sane.
Let's run through a couple of these.
Stephen A. Smith said the same thing.
A couple of these smaller pickups. Jeremy Lin to Brooklyn.
Ryan had something to say about this one.
3 years, $36 million. Jeremy Lin to Brooklyn, and it's basically because of the coach. Their current coach used to be a coach with one of the assistant coaches at Houston.
Yeah, that's right.
So he has that connection, which I feel like they got a screaming deal.
Yeah.
3 years, $36 million.
Yeah, you're in on Jeremy Lin. I know that.
I love Jeremy Lin.
You're in on
I think he was great.
You can superimpose the.
That was before he had his whole Linsanity. I thought he was great.
From day one.
They're fantastic.
Because he got drafted by the Warriors, and I was like, this is going to be Steph's backup. This is going to be Steph's backup. It's going to be great. They didn't sign him, went to the Knicks, Linsanity. Everybody lost their minds.
I freaked out, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I definitely freaked out.
Yeah. But I think...
don't sit there and try to tell us that it wasn't amazing, because it was.
It was amazing.
That game winner against Toronto...
And those 38,
onions.
The 38 he put on the Lakers too.
Onions.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Talk about just on that big stage.
You know what's great too is that we still remember this. We still remember that he did that. So
yeah. And he had a great year with Charlotte.
He did.
Sorry, Jared. He did. He had a great year.
He did.
He really
it was sad to see him leave Charlotte.
Carved up Miami in the playoffs.
# tears for Jared. So.
Tears for Jared. I
love that.
So Jeremy Lin to Brooklyn. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do in Brooklyn. Maybe they told him, look, it's your show.
I don't even know who's on that team anymore.
You still got Brook Lopez,
Tyler Johnson, and Alan Crabb.
No, Tyler Johnson was actually the offer was met by the Heat. So the Heat are gonna keep Tyler Johnson. That's a 4-year, $50 million deal for Tyler Johnson.
It's another one of those deals where it's just the right place at the right time. Too much money, but you can't afford to not pay.
He was definitely like a low-key good player, but not like a $50 million.
It's just
that's pretty like getting paid more than Jeremy Lin. I don't think
it's just one of those things where you think of if you're worth $50 million, you should be giving me at least 15 points a game, maybe.
Well, and I mean, these are a lot of these deals are. Well, we're banking on his
potential.
Potential. The Harrison Barnes thing.
Right.
It's his potential.
Right.
Yeah.
We've seen flashes of what he can do.
Right.
Before we go to more of the guys that stuck around with their same team, which I want to touch on, I really want to talk about Bismack Biyombo going to Orlando.
Okay.
4 years, $70 million. Bismack Bumblebee. We talked about it during our NBA Finals preview. We talked about how Bismack and Steven Adams were two guys who really upped their stock over the playoffs.
Yeah.
Bismack had to come in with Valanciunas out for a good chunk of the playoffs. He played fantastic.
A good portion of it.
Played fantastic. And
Bismack?
he scores, 4 years, $70 million. But what the heck is going on in Orlando? You've got Aaron Gordon, Vucevic, Ibaka.
And now Ibaka, right. And now Biyombo.
They just picked up Jeff Green.
Did they really?
Why?
He's
Jeff Green?
He's a small forward, though, right? Or small forward, power forward?
He's a power forward, I think.
You can play him at the small, though, but he's really, he's kind of huge.
It's a little... I mean, those are a lot of big name guys who are going to be fighting for
minutes.
Yeah.
like Biombo. You just paid him $4 million, 4 years, $70 million. What, are you going to have him come off the bench?
And that's after signing Vucevic to a large deal.
And Vucevic is fantastic.
I like
He
Vucevic.
is.
You can't bench Vucevic. So you go with Ibaka off the bench?
Ibaka can
Ibaka and Aaron Gordon off the bench?
see. It's interesting. It's
I can
one of
see
the,
Aaron Gordon coming off the bench.
it's one of these. It's one of these things though, where you can honestly plug in Ibaka or Vucevic or even Biombo at the center spot and just go a little bit smaller. You can so you can play two of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, you can definitely play two of them, but
You
we're
can
talking
get away
about
with
5
that.
guys.
That's true. That's the thing. See, Aaron Gordon, his minutes are going to just drop.
Which is too bad because he played really well near the end of
Like,
last season.
his-
Because he was getting starter minutes. He was putting up double-doubles almost every night.
His minutes are going to drop. It's the
Still
same.
won that dunk contest.
Still won that.
It's the
dunk
same-
He
contest.
did.
Over
Rigged.
stuff.
It's kind of the same thing
Rigged.
with Clay.
Totally.
He sat in the air and dunked it. How do you
Defied gravity.
Greatest dunk of all time.
Oh, the best. But like, it's almost the same thing with Clay. Like his shots are going to go down by virtue of KD being there, which is a shame because
Yeah.
Clay, I think he's as good a shooter as Steph Curry.
Well, he did beat Steph
He did
Curry
beat
in
him in the
three-point
three-point,
So
shooting.
whatever.
yeah.
So that's me. So
bragging rights?
unfortunately, Aaron Gordon's minutes are going to go down.
That's going on.
just
Yeah,
as a result.
for
You know?
sure.
It's a bummer.
real.
Which
I beat Steph
could
Curry
lead
at a
to
three-point
possible
contest.
trades
for one for
Clay
some
Thompson.
from
someone's
Orlando to... Because Orlando needs some help.
midway
Small forward.
midway through the season, one of those guys will be gone.
Yeah, I can see that happening. But hey, Frank Vogel, good coach that they got.
Another
So
good coach. Yeah.
I just don't know what the heck's going on in Orlando. They're a little lost right now in their identity. I don't know who they are. But you know what, Jared? I think it's time to cheer you up a little bit.
Please.
How are you going
Cheer
to
you
do
up a little
that?
bit. Nicholas Batum.
We're gonna play Pokemon Go.
Let's talk about Nicholas Batum sticking around Charlotte. 5 years, $120 million. You said Nicholas Batum went on record saying he wants to build something in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So I mean, Charlotte's got some nice pieces.
It's cool,
They
yeah,
still
it's
have Kemba
Kind of hard to
Walker.
build things when you're tearing everything down, though.
They got Roy Hibbert to hold down.
You know, don't
Only
preface this with "I'm gonna cheer you up."
Only on like one half of the court because he's not gonna make it to the other
Yeah.
end by the time they.
Can't even
Big
run.
old feet. He wears like size 77 shoes. Have you seen his shoes? They're like whoop, whoop, whoop down the court.
He's always. It looks like his toes are like
This close from just
hitting the
yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
Just dragging along the court.
Cheer you up.
Hey,
Roy
Nicholas
Hibbert.
Batum though.
Hey,
Glad
Nicholas
he
Batum
stayed
played
with the big guy.
fantastic last year.
Still got Kemba.
Yeah.
Still have
Playing
Kemba.
amazing.
Who's their shooting guard now?
Batum.
Or he's small
They
forward.
didn't keep Courtney Lee.
Right,
He
he's not.
didn't.
No, he. Who's with Charlotte? I thought it was the
3J still in
Grizzlies.
the house somewhere.
Oh, dude, 3J Harrison. I don't know if you even want
He's
any part of that.
He's down with his playing for sure.
No, they
Is
have
Frank Kaminsky or
Frank
Zeller
Kaminsky.
going to start?
Frank Kaminsky might get a lot more minutes this season.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Zeller's
that's
pretty
right.
much plateaued, I think, at least from where I can tell. He's a solid player, but might as well put Kaminsky in.
So I think Tyler Zeller will still somehow get at least a deal, probably in the range of 20 to 30 million.
Yeah.
Him and Miles Plumlee actually too. He's yet to sign as well.
Yeah.
Oh, they got Marco Bellinelli.
There we go. That's what they got. Bellinelli.
Better than 3J.
But it was great about that too. Like
They got Rick from
Really?
The Walking Dead.
Don't need this.
He was a
Slash-
Spurs. He was a
slash
Spur.
So he was
He was a Spur. You already know he's good.
He was a Spur.
Bellinelli played on the Spurs.
Dude, that's what irks me the most about this move.
Some other guys that stuck around. Kent Bazemore
Another
sticks
one
around
of-
Atlanta.
another one of the guys got overpaid.
No, Bazemore's good.
He is
He
good.
played really well this year.
Oh man, let's look who's talking.
4 years,
Hold
70
on.
million.
No,
Wait a second.
No, no, no.
Let me just
I'm gonna.
inform viewers.
I was wrong about Kent Bazemore.
You guys. Wiley has spent the last however many years Kent's
2-3
been in the
years.
league, 2 or 3 years, absolutely trashing on Kent Bazemore.
Well,
Trashing on him like Jared style trashing he has tonight. I'm not always this pessimistic,
because
but
he was on the Lakers roster.
He was always like-
for a few years. He was like the 12th guy on the bench, just doing the 3-point windmills and
Yeah,
doing the
yeah, well,
goggles on the
I
sidelines
would
and stuff.
pay money
and
to be that guy.
the
that would be dope.
archer.
You'd be good at that.
I would be.
You'd be so good
I'd
at
be
We've already
happy
talked
with
about this. You need to be on a Division I bench.
I've
You're
talked about
tall
this.
enough.
Here are my credentials for being on an NBA team. I can dunk on a fast break with no one on me in garbage time. That's
Okay.
a marketable skill.
There you
So
go.
That is a
Dudley,
marketable skill.
so-
And
that's a marketable
you
skill.
talk about a locker room guy, you're not going to cause any trouble.
I'm up there for everybody.
You got everybody's back.
I'm like Tim Tebow.
If a fight breaks out, you're going to jump in there. You're going to scrap.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Because
He's
nobody
in.
cares if you get
Look
suspended.
at that reach.
Ow.
Yeah.
Clear the room.
I know.
He nearly hit the camera.
I was
From
gonna
right
go
here.
after that camera.
Wait.
And then he got right in the middle.
So are you guys telling me I should go for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
With Ryan's blessing, I
We're not in any position
be
to
your
tell you
trainer.
to not go
mean.
for
There
it.
you go. Ryan's my trainer.
I'll be your trainer.
It's a bet.
He needs a general manager.
Jared.
Here's a number.
You're sad now.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting number I'll throw at you. 5 years, $130 million. Bradley Beal sticking around in Washington.
No,
What the heck's going on in Washington?
Nope. No. Washington fan here.
Wizards fans,
No.
you talk about crying.
This dude
Man.
is not a max contract guy. He
Have you-
can't stay healthy.
Ever heard of somebody getting paid to break their leg? Because that's basically, I love Bradley Beal. I do. I think he's a great player when he's playing.
Good.
But like, you can't pay a dude to get injured on the reg.
Did you see
That's
what
he-
Tracy
that's
McGrady
what he
said
does.
about him?
Yeah.
What?
What?
I can't remember specifically, but
Killing
I'm just kidding.
I need
Just-
a quote.
It was just like it was something along the lines of, if Bradley Beal is a max player, I don't know what a max player is anymore. It's like,
Well, we
I
can
mean,
look at
Chandler
Chandler Parsons.
what,
T-Max isn't like it is though.
But he specifically
He
referred to
keeps- he
Bradley
keeps it
Beal
100.
as one of those guys who's primarily known as a scorer. That's Bradley Beal. He's a scorer.
Yeah.
So he's one like
But without any legs, you can't.
you can't do anything.
Right.
I mean, we haven't invented robotic legs yet. We just haven't. Until that happens,
Cyborg.
Bradley Beal's out of luck.
Cyborg implants.
Cyborg.
Some other guys. Alan Crabb sticks around in Portland. $75
Oh,
million
they
for
matched
4
it?
years. Yeah, 4 years. And Jared and I talked about this earlier. That's all playoffs. That's based simply because of how well he played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, maybe he did some in the regular season, but we don't
Well,
pay
here's the
attention to the
thing.
Trailblazers too much. So
Yeah.
Are they gonna have the money to re-sign CJ to a big deal?
I don't know. We'll see. Jamal Crawford sticks around in L.A.
Good
He was
fit.
pretty miffed at the offer that they made originally because
Apparently,
it was
really?
less than
The
Austin, Rivers.
Rivers deal, exactly.
Oh.
Apparently,
And I think this one's higher though. 3 years, $42 million. I think
they
so.
offered him 340. I think.
They're like, all right, Jamal. You talk
We'll
about
keep
a team
2
that
million.
really stayed pat. They basically didn't gain
Oh.
anything, but they didn't lose anything. The only thing they lost was Jeff Green, and whatever. Say what you want about Jeff Green, he's not that great. DeMar DeRozan stays with Toronto. 5 years,
Expected.
$139 million.
Too much.
Is that a max?
It's a max.
It's a max.
He's one of those
It's a
guys.
lot of money.
He's one of their max players. He is.
Yeah, he is.
I just don't think he's.
He's one of the worst
But he's their
three-point
max.
shooters.
Yeah, he's terrible.
But he's their max
He
player,
gets to
so
the
that's
rack.
why he got paid.
He
that
gets to the
much.
rack though.
He does.
A tremendous.
He's
He's one of the
fantastic
best-
attacking the
One of
rim.
the best, yeah.
He's very good at
One of the
finishing
best
the ball.
drivers.
And after the finish that they had this year, you can't be
You had
like,
to
all right,
pay.
we got to change things.
No,
up."
you had to pay.
It's
No.
the best finish Toronto's ever had in the playoffs.
You had-
Yeah.
They lost by Yambo, which is they can absorb
Yeah.
that.
Regrettable.
Losing, possibly your second best player, him and Lowry.
Yeah,
I would
go
rather
back and
take
forth.
Lowry, but
Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
Andre Drummond stays with Detroit. Obviously,
I love
there's
this,
no
though.
surprise
Good stay.
there.
They
$130 million.
I love this, though.
That boy deserves that money.
I love
He
that.
does.
they would have like if I was the Detroit management, I would have named the city after him to get him to stay.
Yeah.
Surprised
Yeah.
Lakers didn't try. Well, they signed
I-
Mozgov like on day one.
Comparable.
They-
Basically the same player.
They would promise to personally shave his shoulders
Oh, yes.
for him
Oh, those
to
squiggly-
stay.
They need a special
Detroit.
instrument for that.
His wool vest that he wears underneath that jersey. And I'm no way making fun of him because I don't want him to hear this and come beat us up.
Yes.
Please no.
Dude, no, don't get us wrong, Andre. We freaking love you.
Andre's
Awesome.
amazing. He's amazing.
I thought he was
He
going to
is.
finish this season averaging 15 and
Hey,
15.
You want to hear
Yeah.
me say something positive about a player?
Yeah.
Andre Drummond is an incredible player.
He is
And you
incredible.
know what? I'm going to go ahead and top this off with something negative because in our fantasy league, there's this guy who's keeping him. He's a dear, dear friend.
Is it Brett?
It's Brett.
You're different.
Is it really?
It's Brett. And he got Drummond, and he has him locked in this keeper league, and he can keep him till Andre Drummond is dead, basically.
Damn.
So he can keep him when he retires and enters those senior YMCA leagues and is dominating there.
Get his number retired in our league.
And I think, the best way we can finish this
that is the best way.
is to talk about our boys coming home.
Oh, yes.
Leandro Barbosa and Jared Dudley. They're coming home to Phoenix, baby.
Talk
Coming
about,
home.
just two, of my favorite
Stone
vets.
Cold.
It's just it's like Iron Man and Captain America come back to the Avengers.
All right.
Man, I'm so
stop.
excited about
I'm
this.
gonna stop you there.
Josh
All
just
right.
smacked me upside the head on accident.
That was inadvertent.
I know.
I like where you're going with this. You can't make that comparison. Dude. Jared Dudley.
It's like...
Jared Dudley is like one of those no-name superheroes who gets one issue and it's an accident. Someone's like, wait, we accidentally made him more than half the comics. He's his own option.
It's like Howard the Duck.
It's like
Howard the
Duck.
Duck and Iron Fist coming home.
Jared
Iron Fist is nasty. But he's a B-list.
I'm so excited to watch the Suns. It's going to be so weird. It's going to be a bizarre freak season for the Suns.
Moon Knight and Squirrel Girl coming home.
I don't...
I love Moon Knight though.
He's B-list.
So,
Without a doubt.
what?
Squirrel Girl's the A-lister, though.
Is she?
You see the guy she takes out?
She defeated Dr. Doom.
Dr.
In
Doom,
one episode.
Thanos, all the, big name villains she's taking out.
Alright, hold on.
Just,
This is
We
a different video.
yeah. Different
We'll have a
video.
reminiscing video where we talk about superheroes.
Wait, hang on, we failed. Wait,
Did
we discuss
There's still a
this?
few on here that
Did
we
we
didn't talk
discuss
about.
Hassan really in depth?
Hassan Whiteside, 4 years, $98 million. Actually, a pretty sweet deal for Miami.
I consider that a steal.
It was
Yeah.
definitely a steal.
Considering there's way better players, or way
Yeah.
worse players getting
He's a
maxed
knucklehead,
out.
but that dude can ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
you couldn't risk not having that guy.
Yeah.
No.
Because this, he'll always get you rebounds and he'll get you blocks.
And
Yeah.
if Bosch is healthy, that's a dynamic 1-2.
That's a
That is.
If
formidable
Goran
front court.
can get his head out of his butt, don't draft him. And, Tyler Johnson's going to have to step up.
Well, they're paying him to. That's the thing.
But-
They're paying him to be. They're paying
Yeah.
him to be better.
Yeah.
Not paying him in hopes he will be better. They're paying him to be better.
You got
Justice Winslow.
Justice Winslow. Who's that
Could be a
other?
starter.
Josh Richardson.
Josh
Josh
Richardson
Richardson.
played really good.
Yeah, he threw down one of the nastiest dunks
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
I think they picked up some good rookies too.
Yeah, so you know what? Miami's usually good at
Yeah.
getting good personnel.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they'll still be a pretty good team.
Yeah, Eric Spoelstra is a good coach.
Oh yeah.
I think people underestimate how good of a coach he is because he had LeBron and Dwayne Wade and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He's a good coach,
He
and
kept them afloat after LeBron
He
left.
did.
they
so.
played well last year. Even with Bosch having his, he had to get shut down. Goran was up and down the whole
He
year.
was.
Jared knows about it. Don't even get
No,
him
he
started.
was low all year. And
He
then
was
he got awesome. He
down.
got better in the playoffs a little bit.
And down, and then he got up once Jared's season ended, and he couldn't help him. So yeah, that's our. That's as much a free agency look as we need to give you guys. If there's anything else, if you really want in-depth looks at Zaza Pachulia and Mirza Teletovic, you can go look at ESPN Insider stuff
Who?
because exactly.
There's one name on this list though that we haven't talked about because he's not on the list yet. Dion Waiters.
Dion Waiters.
Yeah.
Run the tape. Run the tape back of. You know what I'm talking about.
Run it back.
What I just said was, Dion Waiters is a trash can fire, waiting to happen.
Trash
Yeah.
can fire getting dropped onto a gasoline-coated landfill filled with tires,
Which is ready for a big explosion.
which is swirling around in the world's largest toilet.
Tape.
And
So yeah, that's
Tape.
That's as much as we need to
That
give you right
is-
now with the Fast Break Kids free agency little recap there. But like Josh said, Dion Waiters is still out
Big
there.
old hair.
So I'm sure Sacramento will pick him up because That's so Sacramento. That's something that they would totally do. Either them or Philadelphia.
Their
Philly.
nickname, which they endorse, is Sacktown.
Sacktown. It's perfect.
I have family there though, so
Sacktown.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. The team sucks.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know
Sacktown.
what to do about that.
But
Go back
something
to
you
yeah.
can do.
Go back to Seattle.
Thank you for tuning in.
Or go to
like-
Seattle. They're not
Like,
from there.
comment, share, subscribe. Tell everyone everything you know, even your dog or something like. Just tell them. All right.
Talk to your dog.
Talk to your dog.
They need your love.
They do.
Yeah.
Tell them about the Fast Break Kids. Well, I mean, look at the shirt I got. Okay.
Proud dad
Of
of
a
a
rescue
rescue
dog.
dog.
That's beautiful right there. This is the kind of people we
It's
are.
also a bold-faced
I have a
lie.
rescue dog too.
So, see?
I
She's
do,
great.
actually.
Boom.
His name is Sabaka. He's a lovable
See?
idiot.
Look at us. We're lovable idiots. Wait, us or the dog?
Both.
Okay. We're lovable idiots, guys. Fast Break Kids. Tune in next time. We got plenty of stuff. We got Pokemon. Pokemon Go is definitely happening.
Yes.
It's happening, okay, people?
Very much in effect.
It's real and it's spectacular. For Josh, for Ryan, for Jared, I'm Wiley Lewis. This has been the Fast Break Kids. See you next time. Keep it 200.
It's hot as balls.
It is hot. You know what's funny?
Sacktown. It's Sacktown up
You know
in
what's
here.
funny? It's like only the right side of my body is really sweating. It's just the right side. The other side's good,
Jared,
though.
that's Ryan's
Jared,
pointing the finger at you very nice.
you've run really hot.
Too
I don't know what
Try.
to tell you.
Is that milk still cold?
Jared was farting.
warm.
It's nice and
I've
chunky.
gotten so used to drinking warm milk, dude.
That's horrible. That's not a life I want to live.
It's bad for your colon.
That's not a life I want to live.